start recording.
I didn't record that yet. Now I recorded this.
Oh my goodness. We'll do
I don't know
this.
that I wrote down our structure of what we're actually going to do.
I thought, well, thank you guys for being here.
Yes.
First of all, we're quite excited to look out and see faces. We weren't sure if people were going to show. I thought we'd introduce ourselves. Good first step. And then we have a question we're just going to kind of warm up with, and then we'll open it up. And there's just a few of you, so like this will be fun. Can be much more discussion based. Yeah.
We were going to do a circle, but we decided that we'd save everyone.
Would that have felt like group therapy-ish?
That have felt too much.
That's what I was.
You can't ask a question.
This is gonna get real deep real fast.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Sure.
Do you want me? Go for it.
So I am Tracy Keller. I have Charlie in the sunroom. And I own Firefly Counseling here in Tosa, just on 68th and North.
The fish building.
The fish building. I'm upstairs in the fish. My specialty is not children, but my background is in kids. So I started therapy working with kids a minute ago. And then as I've gotten more and more specialized, now I work really a lot with like women or femme kind of mental health concerns, a lot of trauma and grief are things that I really specialize in. And then I have a specialized area of like reproductive trauma. And I think the background in child stuff has been so helpful in what I do with adults now, because I think I'm like repairing all the wounds that we could have worked to shield our kids from now.
Yep.
So hoping to bring that into our conversations and just what we can all do. And also doing it in a very humble space of awareness that my kid is the one who will run into the street after school, and my other one may come in screeching on certain days, and I'm also figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
So
We were laughing pretty hard last week, the week before. So we were picking up, and both of our kids were the ones screaming, crying. Hers was running toward North. Mine just cut herself with the mask she made in her classroom, and we were just like, yes, parenting workshops. We've
think
got
we are
this.
so
we're
qualified for
We're
this.
in it with you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But Dr. Jamie Camphouse, I work at Tosa Psychological Services with this guy. Yeah, I used to work with kids a whole lot more. My bachelor's is in psych with a concentration in child and family. So I had all those fun child classes, and then did 2 years of an MFT program. So I got to learn a lot about family systems. And then, yeah, now I specialize in trauma, and the umbrella of what that looks like. I would say I do a lot with like childhood developmental trauma. So a lot less like big T one-time event and more of that like chronic invalidation or shaming or, right? And then you have on the other end of the spectrum like severe abuse. But my thought with all of this was similar to what Tracy just said. Like we reprocess so much with like emerging adults, and what would it be like to come on the other side? Because we don't know what the heck we're doing, right? There's no parenting. I mean, there are if you sign up for them. Nothing's required. You just get to have a baby and go home, and we don't know what we don't know. And so how can we maybe prevent some of those things from happening? Because I think a lot of times parents don't even know that it's happening. So that was kind of part of our why. Yeah.
And then I am Dr. Dominic Terabasi, and I own Tosa Psychological Services. We are on 92nd and Center, right above Miss Molly's, which is cool, except just on the south side of the building. So technically we're above curves, but saying you're above Miss Molly's kind of sounds nice. So my area of expertise is also in psychological trauma. So I do a lot of trauma reprocessing, EMDR, do a lot of complex developmental trauma. And then, as of late, I've been getting a lot of like business owners and CEOs, which has been kind of an interesting, kind of approach to treatment, dealing with the stressors, work-life balance, as well as like their trauma histories, which has been kind of cool. It's like if you're able to affect change in one person that's responsible for a lot of people, then it sort of trickles down. But it's the same kind of, I guess, thing with the two of them. Like attachment work is so important. It's so foundational. The work that we do as parents can really protect your child in many ways by doing the right things. But it's certainly a challenge, and I feel like we all need support. And so my son is Dominic, also, Dominic Vincent, and he's in the sunroom. So, yeah, 3 kids, and in the thick of it.
We're all in this together.
Yeah. My daughter's Isla in the sunroom, I forgot to say.
So I think the first question that we had kind of just thought of what might be helpful, and then just to, warm you guys up too for questions, was, as a therapist, right, what is your biggest takeaway, or what is the thing that you feel like is the most helpful thing that you've gotten from just having all of the knowledge that you have into now
Yeah.
being a parent?
Does it have to be the biggest? I have too many.
No, just
Okay.
a huge
A
takeaway,
thing?
a big takeaway.
Ooh.
I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah. I know
Yeah?
yours.
Yeah.
Yours
Mine
is probably mine.
Is it? Okay. Mine
It's a good
is
one.
mine is repair and the importance of repair, meaning that we have a lot of flexibility in things that we can say and do in front of our kids, and as long as we are like being humble and human and apologizing, that is like hugely restorative, right? And the number of people that I talk to, the number of like parents I talk to who are stressed out and freak out on their kids, myself included, and are like stressed, like, oh my goodness, like I'm doing these awful things, I'm traumatizing my kid, I'm the worst ever, what are they taking from this situation? And in reality, the thing that makes it traumatic, the thing that people are processing in my office is that they're alone. That they're alone, no one ever came back, no one like apologized, no one did anything, right? So the thing that you can do, the thing that I can do that gives me a whole lot more like freedom to just human in my household is to be real and apologize and to take ownership of my actions and when I lose my cool. And to also work as hard as I can to model myself
Yeah.
and trying to just manage my own feelings, which I don't do perfectly all the time either. So how can I expect my kid to do that either? So
Yeah.
repair is my like amazing reset button that makes me think like, okay, I'm not raising
Yeah.
someone who's going to be a murderer someday.
Oh my
Hopefully.
gosh.
Too far? Too far? That's a concern.
Not
I have.
entirely, but it is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rupture and repair, being able to circle back. Was it Winnicott, a psychologist, who said you need to get it right like 60% of the time? So there's room for error as long as you circle back. Yeah. I think mine would be recognizing that in moments of distress or moments of like when your kiddo's freaking out, knowing that developmentally that's appropriate, right? Their prefrontal cortex is not developed yet, so they don't have those skills. So in those moments, we are helping build those skills as opposed to just how can I get through this, right? Knock it off, right? Having this quick like, I'm going to take your toy away if you don't stop doing that. It's actually a moment where we could increase their distress tolerance and set them up to be more resilient human beings. So what that looks like, I think it's just understanding, and this is the piece that's so difficult because good parenting is so much harder. Because in that moment, right, your kid's freaking out, their part of the brain that's all lit up, their amygdala, the primitive, also lights up yours. So you so badly just want to freak out with them. And so it's like, okay, I need to pause. I kind of need to take a deep breath. I'm the parent, right? I can handle this. Okay, you can be angry. That's okay. I'm right here, right? And just letting them know, like, your feelings aren't too big. And then after you're able to connect with them, you can walk them through, like, okay, what happened? I noticed you were angry. So you're putting words, right? Emotionally labeling what was happening, which just increases that distress tolerance and their ability to understand their inner experience. That's gonna, so that's something that I carry with me all the time, especially when I want to just be like, oh my God, I like go to bed. Like, Jamie, take a deep breath. You know, how can we help encourage or build up that resiliency in that moment? And again,
When you can't, apologize.
yeah.
For sure. So I would probably go on the front end of this, where I would say one of the most important things that I learned was to regulate myself first, right? because it's very difficult to intervene effectively with a child that's dysregulated when you yourself are dysregulated. So taking the moment to be like, okay, am I in a place right now where I can actually effectively intervene with my kid? Because if not, then we're both just gonna escalate, right? And then after that, like if you are regulated and you are in a position, right, where you can intervene effectively, like connecting first. Taking that time to actually connect. Because our children then move from the state of reactivity, right? Like maybe they're throwing a tantrum, or maybe one of their siblings just took one of their toys, and it's like, ugh, right? Regulating the self, connecting with them first so that they can start to regulate. And then in a state of receptivity, you can have your teaching moment, right? And I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about this, but so much of discipline, argue all of discipline, is really about just equipping our children with the skills that they need to be full functioning adults, which their ability to regulate their emotions, and I mean, it goes on and on. It's the things that we can teach our children, right? And there are kind of traditional ways of teaching children, which is through punishment and reward, right? Hey, I like that behavior. Here's an M&M. Hey, I don't like that behavior. I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to punish you in some way, right? And so a lot of what we're going to be talking about is a bit different than that. Because we ask like, hey, is that the best way to teach? If it were, I would tell you something. If you tell me you disagree, then I smack you. Like, it doesn't work with adults very well, right? Yeah, so I think the most important things for me, like takeaways that I've learned, is regulating myself first, taking that time to connect so that my child can move from a state of reactivity to receptivity, and then really like knowing like, what is it that I want to teach in this moment, you know? Maybe Dominic had his milk on the table and he hits it with his arm and he's crying because now he's got this mess and we don't have any more milk left. Can I connect with him? Hey bud, I can tell your milk is spilled, it's okay, right? He's calming down. All right, now he's actually going to be able to hear whatever my moment is, or whatever it is that I want to teach him. So it might be, hey bud, you had the cup right here, you know, and that's why it got knocked over. So we actually put our cups right here. And then, if we're moving our arms around, we won't hit them. Great, that's actually a good thing to know, right? Where do you put your cup?
And it's okay to spill.
And it's okay to spill.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of the long answer.
Yeah.
I know, I could keep adding and going on and on. Apparently we like talking about this stuff. So.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So, we want to open it up. Don't worry, my partner will be here too. We'll figure it out. We're all learning together. So, want to open it up to questions that you guys might have or things that might make it, you know, what you're looking to get out of tonight.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be everyone all at once, and we don't want it to be like super formal, but if anyone has like a pressing question that you'd like to ask three therapists,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
there are no dumb questions.
this is here what we're here for.
Yeah.
So yeah, does anyone have anything that they're coming in with that they're really curious about or want some perspective? Yep.
Okay, so I feel like parenting is really hard, and I feel like me and my husband kind of bicker a lot. We don't like raise our voices, but we just kind of have that back and forth. And I'm always so conscious of like, oh my God, Lily's right there, she can hear this all. But you know, when you're in those moments, you can't really like stop yourself. So I'm just wondering, like, I'm always just so scared that she's gonna be like, my parents argued a lot when I was growing up. So I'm like, I don't know what my question is, but I guess that's just kind of
Yeah.
the situation that I'm facing. I don't know if you have any advice for that.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say, like, you're clearly doing an amazing skill just right now in being a reflective parent. Like, that is a game changer. And I think, like, at least from my experience in my office, the generation of above us was not as reflective.
Less awareness.
So just being reflective of that, we know that like modeling can happen, right? So like, yeah, they're seeing the bickering. I'm curious too, what else might they be seeing too? You know, in a positive realm
Yeah.
of things too. You know,
Yeah.
so just something to kind of keep in mind with that too. And again, like what are you doing to like show up in a different way too? You know, what's the language about that? Is there conversations that can be had about that? you know, are things that pop up and light up in my head. I
Yeah.
don't know, you guys?
Yeah. Well, I heard you say when you're in it, you can't really like stop yourself. I think that would be a step for you, like a little muscle to just build a little bit, because I think that you can more than you realize. Kind of like, okay, we're going to put a cap on this and talk about it when she's in bed. Because the truth is, even as infants, they are absorbing, and their nervous system is built based on like ours, right? And what's going on within us and our inner experience. They might not have actual memories that they can be like, when I was 6 months old, I remember, but their bodies hold it. They remember. And you know, normal bickering, that's very common and going to happen. You can also revisit with her later. You know, Daddy and I were upset with one another and we were talking a little more harshly. How are you feeling about that? Like, we're okay. We were talking through something hard, right? We're okay now. I want to make sure you're okay. Just because she might be feeling a sense of unsafety inside and feeling unsettled a little bit. So that's what came up in my mind. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
stop and pause, right? So much goes undiscussed because I can't really talk about it in front of her. And then we're exhausted at nighttime. But
Well, and I like just the caveat too of like the idea of like being calm all the time and showing up perfectly and stopping
Yeah.
conflicts. Like that's like the biology of like what needs to happen, right? And we also want to like hold in place that like you are also human.
it's a cute fantasy.
And you're trying your best,
Yeah.
right? And even if you catch it 1 in 10 times and you're like, you know what, let's save this for later, you know,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Go
Yeah.
you. And know that we're all probably bickering at home too.
Yeah, I'd probably
Anything to add?
encourage like communication with your partner about that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm noticing that we're falling into this every now and again, and is there something that we can do where maybe if like one of us is regulated enough, we can kind of point it out. I was thinking about like the timeout skill, which is basically just like take a break,
Yeah.
you know, and usually you just need one. Hey, should we maybe
Table
okay,
this.
table this. It's like we'll handle it and we'll revisit it, or just actually take a break where you separate for a little bit, regulate yourself, and come back together. Sometimes couples will actually just like pick a word,
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. That's what we do.
you know, or it could be like a whatever, a sign.
Yeah. I'm like, if you really want to tell me right now, you can text me. Because I was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do, I've had like safe words that are like funny or something like that, that just kind of like changes the dynamic of it. Even having it, like the idea of a safe word, like it's funny, it changes the dynamic.
Different type of safe word.
Yeah,
It's like a repair attempt.
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
that I think it can be something just to kind of like take that pause and take a
Yeah.
breath and be able to try to help reset.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay,
Cool.
Yes.
cool.
One more thought for you. So like, I've noticed this both myself doing it and my wife doing it for me. Like, I know that there are times when I'm really frustrated and like not being as effective as I could be, right? And like my tone changes, I can hear it in my voice. Like, Anastasia, it's time to go to bed. Like,
Yeah.
it starts getting more stern, and I'm like, sometimes my wife will come in and she'll be like,
Tap out.
tap out. Right?
gentle
And it's
Yep.
like,
Hey.
like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
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 Tap out.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
that there's been plenty of times that we've done that for her too, where it's like, hey, maybe I was working all day, she's been with 3 little kids all day
Yeah.
long, and it's nighttime, and like, okay, honey, tap
Her
out.
capacity is gone.
Yeah.
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 Right.
And I think within regulating yourself, just to like be aware that like it can take like 20 minutes for your nervous system to calm down once you're activated. So I think a lot of people are like, okay, I'll go take 3 deep breaths and then I'll come back in. Like that's
Yeah.
not realistic. And also going and taking 20 minutes for yourself in the middle of dinner time or bath time or whatever may also not be realistic. So like to have that compassion for yourself too of like, I'm a little overregulated right now.
Yeah.
I'm a little up here. And I'm going to try my best, knowing that I don't have the 20 minutes to kind of bring it all the way down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
solid.
Wow.
Look, I know a thing.
Oh my gosh.
And it's partly because of your biology.
Right.
Like
Yep.
your heart rate is going to increase, and that's going to take time to drop. Right.
Cortisol,
Your
adrenaline.
levels, stress hormones are secreting, and so it's going to take a while to. You might think or kind of feel better, but your body's still amped up.
Yeah.
Your body's like still in that fight, flight, freeze mode.
Which is a helpful response to have. That's your body trying to do something helpful for you to a threat, you know? So it makes sense too that doesn't just like immediately go down, because I always use the example of like a bear attack. Like if you're being attacked by a bear, you want a fight or flight response,
Right.
you know? And for that to turn off immediately with 3 deep breaths doesn't help if there's still bear in the area. You know?
That's what it's like for kids too, probably.
Oh,
Exactly,
yeah.
yep.
Worse.
It does seem
They don't have,
I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
recommendations are like take some deep breaths. I don't want to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
It's
right.
like there.
Yeah.
Some
Right.
people just don't know how to take deep breaths sometimes.
Yeah. Not quite what we're going. And deep
Yeah.
breathing too, like there's science behind why deep breaths work. And as a human,
It takes about 3 months of doing it when you're not dysregulated to really pull on it when you are dysregulated, which is what I tell people, because they'll come in and be like, that doesn't work. I'm like, have you been practicing for 3 minutes every day? Just deep breaths, you know? So like Isla and I will do belly breathing before bedtime sometimes. Let's just take, and she'll watch me do it, and then she'll feel so proud that she does it. And then we try doing it in those moments after we've connected, right? Like we could always do deep belly breathing before we get to the point where she's throwing things, but it's hard because it's not necessarily a fix right away. And I think a lot of people give that as a go-to, and it's like, what? What?
yeah.
I'm not going to take 3 deep breaths. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, what else?
Other questions? Or scenarios?
Yeah.
So, we have a daughter. She's almost 3 years old, and she has an on and off relationship with me. Like, she is very attached to her mom, and I'm very, how do I say this? Very emotional dad. I try to be very connected and present in her life, and do as many chores as possible to support my wife. But there is a point every couple of months where she does not want to do it. Like, she doesn't want me around at all. How do you address that?
Ugh.
First of all, I have to just like giggle because
Like every day.
Yeah.
Every other day.
I was going to say, it's
Very common.
It's
That's
n-
a
yes.
question for me.
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, well, and just
Yes.
to like validate that is a thing, and like living in a household with somebody who's having that experience, like that's really hard, you know? So just to like validate that is really hard, especially when you care so much for this little person, and they're like,
yeah. Or you're wanting to help her out in a moment. You're wanting to help your wife, and she doesn't want anything to do with you.
it's hard. It's a hard thing to navigate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to I feel like I keep starting. Oh, you want
As
me
a
to keep starting?
dad, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, as a dad.
Oh man,
Or maybe you're the favorite, so.
never know. It's interesting because like with my daughter, she actually I think does prefer to come to me, but my 2 boys prefer my wife. You know, they push me away in kind of like a competitive way. Like that's my mom. Like my son literally says that. That's my mom. Right?
Isla says that to me about Brad. Yeah.
Like, that's my dad.
Yeah. Or I'll hug him. You know,
Yeah.
attachment's funny.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing that's coming up for me, if it's helpful,
Yeah.
to jump in,
Yeah.
unless you want to keep it. So I think the thing to know just within like the difference between moms and dads, oxytocin releases differently for men and women, depending on the relationship. And this can be different too for like
It can be different.
LGBTQ like relationships and different relationships. But in general, a lot of the times we get oxytocin releases, and oxytocin is like the thing that like makes us want to connect. And like where we feel like all the love, like warmy, like feelings
It's
to
that
each other.
nurturing.
Yep. So women, generally, this is a stereotype, right, or stereotypical thing. But
Statistically, though.
Statistically, yes. With moms, oxytocin releases when there's like cuddling and nurturing and, ow, I have a hurt or a boo-boo, where's my mom?
And growing in the womb.
It's all
It's a
very like
lot.
biological.
Yeah.
For kids, oxytocin generally releases when dads are playing. When you're playing and having those close interactive experiences, that's when they're getting that connection piece from you. And that's a lot of work, because sometimes it's nice just to be the one who gets to cuddle, you know?
Yeah.
So the more you can kind of take advantage of your oxytocin release, like if you have fun, or if your kid connects with you in that way. There is a ton of research too around like child-led play, and this goes against a lot of, again, how we may have been raised growing up, but really what you could try is some child-led play, 15 minutes where it's just special dad time, and maybe mom can do a good job of like talking that up too. And then child-led play of like, you just go, if you have a playroom, if you have her room that has toys in it, and whatever she wants to do, you're doing it. So
Yeah.
if you turn into princess, absolutely, and you're gung-ho about it. You can use an accent, make it silly, make it funny, whatever, but anything you can do to take advantage of that oxytocin release that you have from that, and something where you're also
Yeah.
helping her build her confidence in just like leading an activity or something like that. That can be really, really impactful, just a couple minutes a day even.
15 to 20 minutes is undivided attention, no phone, no. It does wonders for brain growth. Yeah.
And also hard to like fit in every single day, right? Especially if you're working and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
was coming up in my brain.
And there are nuances, right? Like I was in residency when I had Isla, and so Brad really bonded with her. He just kind of carried her in a carrier all day, and was working remotely, and she just kind of lived there, you know? And so they have a really unique bond. I think she does get a lot of oxytocin from him, but that developed, right, at a very, I mean, since birth. So, so yeah, it depends, but it's also completely normal to experience what you're experiencing, and frustrating. And I would say it can be very easy to take it out on the kid or get frustrated with the kid because of it. And I would say, like, try to steer clear of that. No shaming. Yep, I love mom too. She's so great. I know. I want hugs from her too.
Yeah. And also if there's space within your relationship, like talking that out and having some support, because that is hard, and like you should feel valid in whatever feelings come up for you, because you're a human, you know? And knowing that there's no shame in feeling that either, because we all kind
Yeah.
of want to connect to our kids
Yeah.
for the most part, you know?
There are also like attachment promoting behaviors that you could probably do with her. Like, I don't know if she
Like
has
play?
a thing about like getting her hair combed. Some my daughter does, but something as simple as like combing her hair, or like if you put lotion on her arms before bed. Right? It's like all those things that are promoting that bond and connection. I mean, both parents obviously can do that. But
Yeah.
Cuddling when she's sick, reading before bed.
Or if there's something specific that can be like a you and her task, like if bath time, or I don't know, there's no like homework right now, but like some sort of just general task that you can kind of claim for your own. Then like we had that once. I know when I was like pregnant with my second one, I couldn't do baths because I was just like not comfortable enough to do that. And like he took over baths the entire time, and then when I came back in to give baths, it was not okay. You know?
Forward to that.
Yeah, it was something that I think they both look forward to, because they had that kind of bonding experience. And then when I came in, I was doing everything wrong, and like it was absolutely the flip of that, you know. And sometimes that helps just to have something that's more like built into the schedule that you both can look forward to having that connection.
Sorry. Yeah,
You should ask them all to join.
I know.
we do an all right job answering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what else? Milo's dad.
Yeah, with Milo, so we're pretty sociable. If you've seen our daughter Lena, she's very sociable. But Milo has a lot of trouble adapting to things, and it feels like that's been for a long time. I mean, once he's comfortable, he's okay, but when he gets put into a social environment, it's really hard for him. Just kind of wondering what we can do to help. I mean, you know, everything we read is demonstrate the
Yeah.
behavior, which we do in spades. You know, and we don't want him to be as, you know, maybe scared or unsure about certain things. It's definitely gotten better since coming to Curiosity Corner last year, but
Yeah.
still, like, you know, he just struggles with some of that, so I don't know.
I mean, you can always hire Charlie to just hug him endlessly.
Yeah, like, I think when he's 15 minutes into it, he's okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he's not as
Mhm.
out and, talkative as everybody else. I don't know, I'm not here.
Mhm.
But it's like that coming in.
He
memory.
definitely
Right.
could be like very seemingly
Slow to warm up,
standoffish,
yeah.
or even when he was, 4 or 5 months old, he was the baby that clung to me, and
Right.
like all my friends' kids, are just like, and so he's been like that forever. And
Well,
we
and
don't,
that's
we don't
it.
mind that, like that isn't, but it's just like even like the Halloween, he was the one kid
Yeah.
that didn't want to get up there, was crying, I just like,
Yeah.
it made me like tear up and feel bad because I just don't want him to feel
Sure.
unconfident or
Yeah.
scared.
Right.
Like, we try to not push him, I don't know.
Well, and that's
so.
what I was going to say. So kids have different temperaments, right? And we often say, like, we use this word reproduce, like we're reproducing, but we're not. We're producing. They are not carbon copies of us. Like, Isla is far more outgoing than Brad or myself. They are not, right? And they have bits and pieces of us, but he might not be as social. He might be much more timid and cautious and hesitant, and that might be his temperament. And that's totally okay. And there are things that you two can do to help build confidence in him, but I would say one of your main roles is going to be not shaming him for being that way. It's okay that he's more quiet. It's okay that he's not as outgoing, that he doesn't want to be up in front of that many parents. I would have hated that as a kid, right? Like, it's totally okay that you don't, you don't want to do that. That's fine. We all have different brains. We all have different capacity for stimulation and different sensory needs. And so it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with him. It might feel that way because the two of you are so different and you see other kids able to do it. Isla's pretty outgoing and she got up there and just froze. Yeah. What are things that they could work on to help build confidence?
I think one of the things that's coming up for me is being able to, like, name what's happening for him
Right.
and helping him build trust in himself. So I keep using you like a kid,
Yeah.
right? Here's me, kid. So saying something like, hey, I can see that your body's telling you you're not quite ready to go up for the picture
Right.
yet. You know what? I trust that your body's going to let you know when you're ready. And if you're not ready, that's okay. You can sit by me. And your sister will go take the picture.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, and also builds that trust and confidence that, like,
Yes.
I trust that you're listening to your body, and your body's saying this doesn't feel good, and go you, And I think it is hard though when you're like seeing some of that, and you just want them to interact.
To have fun.
Mhm.
And he's like
Yeah.
terrified, but I'm like, this would be fun.
Yeah, and the thing is he may be having fun even if he looks terrified. And I think
He's observing. He likes
Yes.
observing.
Yes.
And I like,
Yeah.
that's his
I mean,
part, I guess.
last year Charlie in the rainbow room like stood and like stared out the window and like sobbed every day we left, and then like that turned into like a game, and then like by the end of the year she was like watching everyone else play, and now she's going up to your kid hugging. You know what I mean? So they're all on their own paths and trajectories, but like as a parent I like hear that concern because you don't want your kid to be missing out on some of that interaction. So that's what came to me of just how to kind of foster it, is just to like build that trust and confidence.
I love that. And I think as a society, we value extroversion so much more. It's like, man, why can't you just get up there and do that? Or have the courage to go down that slide? And so when our kiddos are a little more timid or have that shy temperament, it can be really difficult as parents.
Well, and it's also hard because you don't want him to miss out on opportunities. You don't want him to be like, I'm too shy to do this, and then I miss out on.
But it's not
A fun
missing out to
party.
him.
Like even in
Yeah.
the hallway, kids will talk to him and he'll just go, I cannot hear you. I just cannot hear you. I mean, stuff like
Or they'll
that.
say bye Milo and nothing, he just
Yeah.
gives them like this rude stare.
Yeah, like
Like,
we
all you
just
have to say is bye.
yeah,
Right,
we just
right.
want him to
Or the
enjoy.
teachers, at the door, Miss Paff or whatever, and she says good morning, and he's just like, I will
Aw.
walk straight through. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's just we
That's so
want
cute.
to try to cultivate
Yeah.
him to have more.
I think you can model it and like safe situations. Like I know you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's great opportunities, giving him like play dates in spaces where he's comfortable, or with his toys. Those are all amazing ways to kind of navigate that with people that he's curious about and wants to engage with. Like all of that. Like I think
Yeah.
you're right on the right track.
Well, on the car ride over, hey Milo, we're gonna see Mrs. Paff on the way in. Why don't we practice saying good morning, right? Or like getting down on his level.
We've been able to coax him a bit with
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And if he
now-
doesn't, it's okay. Next time. We keep cutting off Dominic.
I now understand why Dominic gets along
Yeah,
so well.
that's why I said I think they're
Like-
similar. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Of your 3 kids.
Of my 3 kids, like Dominic is by far the most introverted. You know, he has the most like shy temperament, and kind of cool that they're able to connect together and
Yeah.
still be social, just in a different way.
Yeah.
They like the presence of each other. The
Yes.
calming
Yeah.
presence, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Playing
Dominic,
quietly.
he did make it across the stage, but he was like
Mm-hmm.
the whole time.
Yeah.
We have a video of it.
So cute.
And you're already doing some of the things that were recommended, because I know, because you texted my wife.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the kids to be able to hang out in their own,
Yeah.
comfortable space and
Yeah.
socialize in the way that, you know, they're able to socialize at this point in their development, you know.
Yeah.
So, I know Dr. Jamie talked about temperament, and temperament is kind of an interesting thing, because there's this like reciprocal relationship always going on between environment and biology, right? So your environment can change your biology.
We're getting into epigenetics now.
Yeah.
All right.
And then your body can change how you respond to your environment. So it's just like reciprocal. So you know, and so temperament is more like biological disposition, right? Some kids are more biologically predisposed to be more introverted,
Reserved.
right, or reserved. So it may not be anything that the 2 of you are doing, right? He's just a shy guy, you know, for now. And I'm sure that'll continue to grow and develop, and there's a lot we can do to support him in that, but it might be more of his natural disposition. I mean, my 2 other children, Anastasia, very extroverted, Gianni, like, we've lost him several times.
Oh.
Because
He just goes.
he's just gone.
He elopes. He's a runner.
He's just gone, and he's totally fine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's terrifying.
A little bit.
You know, but
Yeah.
he'll follow other people if we're like at Tosa Fest. He'll just be like, oh, you look kind of interesting.
So does Isla.
That's how our daughter is. It's
Yeah.
like total opposite.
Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and thinking about too, like what it might look like as like an adult, right? Like there are plenty of people who are introverts and
Yeah.
Right.
are completely successful and awesome and have connections and all of that, you know. So just
He's
to,
got big emotions, so
Yeah.
it makes sense that he doesn't want to get up there and he's scared.
Aw.
yeah. Anything you can do to help like name that and verbalize that.
Well, and because he goes 5 days a week, so he
Yep.
did have the second Halloween party.
Yep.
And that one, you know, I'd been there the day before and it didn't go well, so we knew exactly, we talked through it, you know, they did this, they did this, they did
Yeah.
this, do you want to wear your costume today? And he did wear his costume. And he stood up there, you know, he was semi-happy with it, but it,
Yeah.
you know, it's just that,
Yeah.
I think the unknown, the difference of the day, you know, it just threw him off. And so, you know, clearly it was just like, he was more comfortable already, you know,
Totally.
the second day.
Well, and you gave him the language to understand what was happening. He had the experience, and then you talked about it, and you know, being able to normalize, like, yeah, that was a weird day.
Yeah.
You know, your teacher was an elephant for a little bit. That was weird.
Yeah. They're. Oh, sorry. I feel like I always want to talk about
I think
this.
you guys should arm wrestle to see who goes first.
She'll win.
I love kids like this, and it's early. I mean, he's 3, 4.
Yeah, I'll be
I was
4 next
3.
month. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
4.
But I mean, he could be a deeply feeling kid, right? What?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, and that means that
But he's
sensory
pretty-
input might
he's
be
very
different.
contemplative.
Stimulation might feel different, right? He's an internal processor.
Yeah, it's like big, like we've got Lena who's big feeling like loud.
Externalizes.
And he is like thinking,
Internalizes.
you can see he's like feeling bad or, you know, like something,
Yeah.
if he does something, he's like
Yeah.
internalizes it certainly.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, I have resources for you because there are different ways of parenting those kiddos. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I was just gonna say, emotional labeling, generally speaking, very healthy and helpful for children.
Yeah.
Helps them understand what they're feeling. They may not know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but it looks like you're scared.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I learned
Yeah.
that in my 30s because my parents didn't model that for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because we know not to like label, you know, I don't try to say you're shy in front of him or something like that. But yeah, I don't think we really say like you're scared or you're feeling nervous.
I'm curious.
You're
if
like, I guess I
feeling
didn't want
nervous.
Yeah.
him to think he's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that I use the I'm curious or I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're feeling nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or even
Or
like
not
naming
doing
what's going on, like narrating what's going on. Like for Halloween, like there's a lot of people in this room. You
That
know?
can feel overwhelming, huh?
Yeah, something like that. You know, or even how you're feeling with something. I think that's another thing that I've gotten
Yeah.
from like my knowledge as a therapist is like, I don't have to hide my feelings from my kids. Like I just like that's an important like modeling thing. Like wow, it's really loud in
For the
here.
most part. Yeah.
You know, and not to worry because I was just in the sunroom on whatever days
Yeah.
helping your kids talk about feelings. So there you go. But like anything that you can do, even like watching, well, and I don't know where we're at, like age-wise with Inside Out. It's been a minute since I've watched it. I don't know if it's age appropriate yet.
Yeah, not yet.
At some point, Inside Out is a good one, right? Otherwise, like books, even like any book that you have at home and going through and even just being curious, like, hey, how do you think this kid's feeling in this, on this page? You know, can be a good way to just help him, whatever's kind of internally processing, to give him language for that, which can be a better way because then, you know, I think the goal is like eventually, you know, he tugs on your sweater and says, it's kind of loud in here. You know, I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that too, the modeling often. Like I'll get in the car and say, oh my gosh, that Halloween party felt like a lot. That was really chaotic. Mom is feeling a little bit like anxious right now or tired right now or right? And then it gives her the words too. Which can be really helpful.
Yeah.
They'll start picking it up. It's really cool. When you check in with them, ask how they're feeling, and they're able to say like frustrated or
Yeah.
they're little sponges. Where are we with time?
I have no idea.
Oh, 6:15.
We have 15 minutes still.
Cool.
Look at us. Any more questions that we have?
Questions? Yeah.
I know you had mentioned belly breathing as like a technique
Uh-huh.
to help with like regulation. Do you have any other suggestions of things that we could practice in calm moments?
Yes.
What kind of, yes.
Yes, we do.
My brain goes to, do you have specific moments, like more of a meltdown moment, more of a, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking more of my 2-year-old, just kind of, and that's probably different than like a 3-year-old too, but just it takes her a little bit longer to kind of calm down when she's really worked up. And, so we try, you know, obviously she's only 2, so, you know, we try different things, but I just didn't know if there was like more things that we could try to just kind of help build toolkit as she gets older.
So general things that I will say to anybody, because I feel like it adapts with age. You guys can check me if this doesn't seem right to you. But like when we're having like a huge like blow up or a meltdown, one of the things that I think is helpful in understanding my kids, right, is like if this is your brain, and it's like this, right? This is your like your prefrontal cortex, which is like our amazing like thinking, logical, human-y brain. This is your back brain. That's more like
human-y. The primitive.
yeah. Well, the human like executive functioning
Yes.
part, right?
Yes.
But this is more like like what is the word?
Reptilian.
Reptilian.
Mammalian.
Yeah, mammalian. Is that the word?
Primitive.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
When you're
survival,
freaking out,
right?
survival mode, there
So
you go.
what happens is this like part in the middle is our amygdala, right? Thank you. And when stimulus comes in, it comes in, and this is like the feeling center, right? And the feelings come in, and generally it like accesses other parts of the brain that say like, is this actually a threat or is this not a threat, right? So like I go outside and I see like a garden hose laying on the ground, and my first instinct, because I hate them, you know it, snake, right? So what happens when I am like in a fully regulated space, I say, whoa, that looks like a snake, and then that information comes in and it processes it around and says, that's a garden hose. Silly, right? And I can move about my day, water my garden if I need to, right? Whereas with kids, because this part is a little less developed, what ends up happening is stimulus comes in, and what ends up happening is this goes offline.
We say it flips their lid.
Yep, or it gets like emotionally flooded,
Yeah.
right? Which means that like information's coming in and there's nothing that's helping to connect this down to say this is not actually a threat,
you're
right?
safe.
So when your kid is having a tantrum, when they're dysregulated, that's what's happening is you're not communicating with like the prefrontal cortex at all.
It's offline.
That's why logic doesn't work, and that's why we connect first, because when you can connect and create safety, then we can come back down together and like actually like do the learning stuff that brains like to do. So the main thing within that whole thing where I'm getting to with this, right, is I think about when like our lids are flipped, when we're flooded, I think, well, this sounds bad. I don't care. I'll go there, right?
Yeah.
I think about my kids as dogs, right? Like as like an alert.
Carry on.
In the
I know
way
where
that
you're
like
going.
yes, like
This is very
as
trippy.
like a dog like barking at like the mailman.
Yeah.
This is very much my style. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm
I'm
not
down
gonna
with it.
yeah. Okay. So like the dog like barking at like the mailman, right? Like that dog does not actually know that that person is just delivering my mail, and it's actually a very helpful service that we have, right? They're just reacting. And that's kind of what I think about with my kids when they're having meltdowns is they're just reacting. They're not actually thinking about things. They're not being maliciously mean. They're not slamming the door to like ruin things or rattle the house. They have no other way of like
It's
navigating
actually
this threat.
developmentally appropriate.
Yeah. So what I'll do, because what ends up happening at our house, right, is our 4-year-old will scream, usually throw something on the ground, run into a room, slam the door, and then she like throws herself on her bed like a Disney princess and like, right? And then like loses it for a while. If you try to come in too early, then she'll say, "Get out of my room!" Right? So I take that opportunity to regulate myself as much as I can, and then to go in and basically I do anything I would do to calm a dog that's like barking at the mailman, right? So I'll like rub her back and offer like a gentle, soft touch. Sometimes I'll do some like redirection too, where like she'll be like under her blankets, all dramatic, and I like purposely like pull them off real quick and go like peekaboo, and like just kind of like switching up the emotional response helps turn on some of these things again. So anything you can do to calm the nervous system with like gentle touch, soft tone, co-regulation of you just being as regulated as you can be, in those dynamics. Will help kind of bring this back around and slow it down. Some kids developmentally, right, it takes a little bit longer, right? I have a tenacious 2-year-old as well, and I know that dynamic. And sometimes it is just like the consistent,
I'm here.
yep, I'm here, I'm connecting, I'm rubbing your back, I'm offering down regulation strategies.
Just here if they don't let you touch them.
Yes,
I'm
sometimes
here.
just sitting in the room. Yep.
It's like
Don't look at 'em.
You're having big feelings. I can see that. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm here with a hug when you need it.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And what I'll see, I can like kind of tell when like Charlie finally like comes
Yeah.
down or when this is reconnected because she'll like immediately lurch on for like a hug, right? So like you can kind of see how that works and how that moves through in a perfect situation where it actually works the way that it's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
So just anything that you would do to like calm, you know, an anxious animal, right,
Yeah.
is really going to work if you're okay with me referring to our kids as dogs in this way.
Well, and the human part, I think there are two pieces that keep coming up for me is that anger's okay, right? Frustration's okay. Big feelings are okay. They're not too much for us. We're the parent, right? It's not, you're making me upset. You're making me sad. It hurts mama's feelings when you...
Unless you're overstimulated, and then you can apologize later.
I
Mainly
mean,
for my
these
thing.
are
Continue.
the goals. These are the directions we're hoping to go. Absolutely. Yeah. So we don't want them to think that they have the power to impact our emotions in that way.
That we can't hold it.
That we're not a container anymore for those big emotions. Like, that's what they're needing. They need structure. So yeah, totally okay that you're feeling angry. I see you're upset. You know, I'm here. I love you. You're having really big feelings. That's okay. If they throw something, oh, yep, sometimes we want to do that when we're having big feelings. You know what? We don't throw things, though. That's off limits. We can't throw things. If you're going to throw things, I'm going to, you know, remove things out of the way or, like, direct them to, we can punch the couch. We can, so, like, what can we do in that moment? So you still, it's not like, I think a lot of people think with gentle parenting, right, there's no sort of intervention or boundary, or your kid is craving boundaries, and they're wanting to know that they're safe, that you can contain what is going on within, right, their inner experience. And so I think it can be helpful to like just recognize, yep, you're having big feelings. Oh, we don't hit mom. If you hit mom, I'm just gonna hold your hands right here, just to keep my body safe. It's to protect you and me, right? It's not I'm doing it because I'm angry and I want to punish you. It's what is the motivation behind whatever it is you're saying to your kid. Right? Am I pissed? And I'm like, yeah, no, you can't hit me. If you hit me, I'm, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm getting up and I'm slamming the door and I'm withdrawing my love. It's like, no, how can I protect you in this moment? Because your safety matters to me. So I'll say that to Isla. Yep, I'm keeping us safe. But let me, you know? And I'm like, I know, it's so frustrating. Okay, I will let your hands go, babe. We can't hit. You can't hit mommy, you know? It's hard, though. It's really hard. And then co-regulation. So we just talked about this on our we have an Instagram that we're doing, but she might not be like, yes, let me do some deep belly breaths. If you are doing them, her nervous system will pick that up. So, I know, it's a lot right now. You're feeling a lot. You lower your tone, right? You're taking the deep breaths. You are regulated, and she will start to come down too. But it's
Yeah.
all active, right? And it's kind of like flying by the seat of your pants a little bit. 'Cause it
And
shows up so differently every time.
yeah, right. And I think there's like space for it not always going well, and
Oh
then
my gosh, last
recovering
night,
after.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Brad, nope.
Yep.
I'm
Well,
out.
and sometimes it's like, you know what, I need to leave the room because I'm not regulated now, and I'm
Yeah.
just going to add to the energy.
Right.
Right. So then I either like tag in, or like she can have a minute or two by herself,
Yeah.
and that's okay too. I'm going to come back and talk about it afterwards. You know.
Yeah, it depends on your kiddo.
Yeah.
If
And-
I leave Isla alone, she's like, you left me. So I'm like, I'm just going to sit over here. You can be angry.
Options depending on the kid.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always, nuance.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to add?
I was thinking just about like how much happens in the cerebral cortex.
I know.
Like that's part of the reason why humans are so smart. Like you guys are all literally listening to these sounds that I'm making, right? Then you're turning them into words. You're stringing all the words together, right? And then that's giving you this like concept or idea that allows you to understand these random sounds that are coming out of my mouth, right? Like all of that takes place in the cerebral cortex. So when that lid is flipped and the amygdala is stimulating that fight, flight, freeze response, like you're losing access to that, right? It's why we say dumb stuff when we're angry. It's like, oh, I didn't really mean that. It's like, well, yeah, you quite literally weren't thinking about it in the same way. You didn't have access to all of your brain. So moving your child from that like state of reactivity, so Dominic spills the milk. Okay, how do I want to intervene? I could say, hey, why'd you do that? What's gonna happen? Right?
He might listen because it's a threat.
It's a threat. Now he's frozen, and so he's crying.
You just
and-
change the stress response.
Yes.
Right. There's a stress response.
Yeah.
Right. And if I try to teach him while he's crying where to put the cup, he's not going to receive that. Right. Which is why it's like whatever you can do to help them regulate. If that's belly breathing, if that's a touch, if that's a hey, I'm here, if that's you doing your own regulation, which helps to regulate them.
Humming can be
So-
something good
Yeah,
too.
humming.
Like
I
humming
do
low
that
tones.
often. Yep.
And then it's only when their lids are back on that they can really understand what it is you're trying to teach them in that moment. Right? It's like, okay, you're regulated now, bud. So we put the milk over here. Right? And unfortunately, there's a natural consequence of spilling the milk. What is that?
Cleaning it up.
Cleaning it up.
Yep.
So Buddy's getting another, area of discipline, another lesson, which is probably how to clean up milk. Because I don't know about you all, but 3-year-olds probably not the best at cleaning up milk. It's sticky.
They can
sugar in
try.
it.
They can try.
They can try.
So it might be like, all right, now Dad's gonna come with you, and our next teaching moment is how to clean up a mess. Right? And we're gonna get a wet cloth, and we're gonna have a dry one, dry it off, and we're gonna take the wet one so it's not sticky, and then
Or
the
they
dry-
throw the paper towel on it and run away, and you're like, success.
Right.
Cool.
We got
Cool.
the first step.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, next week, the same thing happens. And I have to do we have to do all of that all over again, right? Because it's a long-term investment, and it takes time to learn those things.
Well, it's every instance is like building
Yes.
like the brain synapse to like
Yes.
make that a more automatic thing. So
Now when Isla spills, she literally, she's internalized me, and she will go, oh, it's okay, we can make mistakes. It's okay, we can make mistakes. And she goes and gets a paper towel. Like, but that took, I don't even know how many times of her, like, making mistakes, spilling, intentionally and not. But they do internalize you, right? And your voice becomes their inner dialogue. Which is kind of amazing.
It's wild.
Yeah.
which is why it's so important, like they'll like one of the big things that I feel like has been like within this generation of parenting, right, is to like criticize behavior instead of like the person, right? Because I feel like when you say like you're bad or be a good girl or whatever, right, they're internalizing like, oh, this is I am good or bad, right, which turns it into shame as opposed to guilt. And like it's okay to feel guilty, right? It's okay to be like, oh, I did something wrong and I should fix that, right? But feeling like you're a bad person because you did the thing wrong, right? So just being aware of what you're saying, turning into their inner dialogue. I don't know how we got over here because that was not your
I
question.
know, you and I will just keep running.
I know, this is the problem.
It's an
Is it
important
a problem
distinction, though.
Yeah.
The difference between guilt and shame.
Yeah.
Guilt motivates behavioral change. It's like, did that and probably shouldn't have done that, and feel bad about it, and I don't want to do that again.
It's the
So
behavior.
then, yeah, it's the behavior. So there's like motivation to change the behavior versus shame, which shame causes people to collapse inward and to isolate. So it's like, I'm naughty, so I can't be around other people.
Suppose that I did something bad, I am bad.
Right.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay.
I just need more examples.
Okay.
I need more examples.
More examples
Yeah.
of
The differentiate between shame and guilt.
Yeah.
So like I think the biggest thing, like I think about guilt as like my daughter should feel bad if she tries to break her sister's arm. Like she should feel bad about that because that's not something that I should do as an adult, right? It's not appropriate for me to go around and try and break anyone's arm in here, right? So there is that like building this like moral character of like what is right and wrong, right? And I think the biggest thing is to know like behaviors are going to be actions or things that we do, right? So right now I'm sitting in a chair, right? Eventually we're all going to get up and walk out the door. If I'm mad and I kick something, that is something that I'm doing. And those are all actions. They're things that my body is doing. And those actions aren't necessarily like your child. Your child is having a big feeling and their body is having an action, right?
Your child is good regardless.
Yeah. So like it's this idea, there's a book, Good Inside, right? And like basically it kind of has that perspective of like always looking at your kid as the perspective of you are a good kid. And actually one of my first trainings that I had when I was doing more kid stuff, I was working at a like an in-home therapy place that was doing therapy for kids with a cognitive delay and then also behavioral issues on top of it. And within that, there was a really cool training that was basically said like kids are always trying the best that they can be. And if they're not doing their best, then it's because they're missing something. There's a need that's not being met, right? So that I think is a big thing to kind of be aware of your kid is trying the best that they can be. And if they're not, right, maybe they're dysregulated, right? And they're not necessarily bad or wrong for having those situations, right? So I'm trying to think too of an example of like,
Well, it's an internal experience. So is your dialogue, I have ADHD, I lose my stuff all the time. Okay, I locked my keys in the car or left my keys somewhere. Is my inner dialogue, I'm a piece of shit, oh my God, why did I mess up again? Seriously, Jamie, are you kidding me?
I can never find anything.
That is shame. I'm bad, right? Like, how dare I mess up in that way? Versus, ugh, man, yeah, it was a stressful morning. That stinks that I totally, I wasn't slowing down enough to think through whatever it is. Like, okay, I'm bummed about that, and that's okay. That happens sometimes. I know I have a different brain. Cool. It's more compassionate, and it's less like my person is not under attack. Like, who I am as a person, I still know I'm good. I'm okay. I can make mistakes. I'm a friggin' human. That's okay. Right? Versus like, and that's how it used to feel all the time before I like kind of retrained my inner dialogue to not be so mean and shame-based, right? A lot of us, I think the way a lot of us were parented, the way our parents were taught to parent us was shame-based. So we carry a lot of that. Timeouts, spankings, go to your room and come out when you're happy, when you can smile again. What were you thinking, right?
Conceal, don't feel.
Yeah, and so we carry this like, ugh, bad. Can't mess up.
You see how one is about the behavior, the other is about who you are as a person? That's kind of the distinction.
It's like, you bit your sister. That was not a good action. That was a bad action, but you're not a bad kid.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
boiling it down to
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
that was bad, you're not bad, you know, but we don't do that.
Right. Well, and giving like
Yeah.
the like understanding, right? Like you bit your sibling for a reason. What do you say?
He keeps trying to say something,
Oh.
and then you and I jump
Oh,
in.
sorry. Go ahead. You got to be more aggressive with it, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, to give you an adult example, like this may come up in your relationships, because we can get critical with each other, and we also can make complaints. So if I were to make a complaint, I might say something like, hey, your shoes were left in front of the door, right? Could you maybe put them where they belong? Or could you put your shoes away? And that's a complaint, it's a comment on like a behavior. There's a big difference between me saying, hey, you left your shoes in front of the door, could you please put them away? And me saying, you're a slob.
Yeah.
Right? If I say you're a slob, that's about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are just a person that is disorderly, and you don't care about anybody. It's like all comments on your actual character and who you are versus like your behavior. Hey, you left the shoes in front of the door.
And I think we like culturally have this like lens, especially because this is how a lot of us were raised, right? That's like the dynamic, right? It's like we are the problem, right? So it is kind of this like shift around into our brains of how do we actually like see the specific problems, how do we communicate that, so it does change kind of that inner dialogue around, and it's
That's a lot of the work we do in therapy.
yeah.
I did a lot of that work, and it is reflected in the way that I parent, right? To be able to regulate myself, have that inner dialogue, because so that's a lot of attachment. Research around attachment is like we kind of have a similar attachment to whatever it is that our parents have, right? We kind of absorb a lot of their inner dialogue, it becomes our own. So that's the cool thing about doing your own work. It really impacts your kiddos. Yeah.
All right, I'm aware of time
Yeah.
in general. So just to kind of let you know in general that we are having,
It's over.
so this workshop series will go monthly for the school year, because we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna hopefully keep on building. So spread the word.
We'll have topics.
Yeah, we have topics going from here. So if there are things that you're curious about, what?
Those flyers.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
I
was
think
gonna
there might
bring
be
those
some upstairs.
flyers. This is a moment,
Yeah,
right?
I know, right?
Where I can either say, Jamie.
Oops. Hey, I might have. No, I don't have them. But we have. If you guys, is she collecting emails? You
Are
guys
you
collecting
all at
emails?
Curiosity Corner?
Yeah.
So you all have this.
So they'll come out. But
She
feel
emailed it.
feel free to shoot it around to anyone else that you think could benefit. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
it free.
We have a little Instagram if you want to follow along.
Yep, for any updates, and then just for like little tips and tricks randomly
Yeah.
throughout. And then in the future, if you guys are needing childcare, wanting to come again, just shoot the same email over or catch me at school or something like that, and we'll make sure that we have people here to watch kiddos.
Yeah.
Anything else that anyone else needs from this time together, other than a light nap?
Thank you so much for donating.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we're happy. We're excited. People came.
I know.
Go, you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. We'll stick around for a while, so if there's something that you didn't get answered, feel free to ask it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, hopefully, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I turn that off correctly?
No, it's still on.